All right, hello everybody. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Michael Lockhart.
And you are either watching or listening to Greynoise. All right, everybody, welcome to Greynoise, the podcast with us on it.
I like that.
You like that one?
We should just do a different one.
Yeah, I'm going to just change it every time.
Greynoise, the podcast
that
with
one.
us on it.
I'm going to change it every time. This is episode 138.
We're on it, so you don't have to be.
This is episode 138 of the podcast with cool information security stuff maybe talked about on it. And for those who don't know, that's kind of maybe what we focus on. Well, especially today, kind of.
Kind of maybe.
We'll dig into that.
Yeah.
So we are here like every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. at the Sin Shop Hackerspace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Specifically Henderson, but we're still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace. And you would know that if you go to 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. And for information on the shop and the cool shit that's going on in it, go to meetup.com/synshop and go to synshop.org. That's SYN. And for more information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. Man, alcohol is great tonight.
One, I thought you were going to finish that SYN.
I know. He stopped at SYN, and I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, what comes after the sin, man?
Well, if you don't know how to spell shop, I can't help you.
Hey, you never know, dude.
It could be an SH0P for all people know.
Oh, Jesus.
We don't know.
All right.
It is
maybe,
the internet.
It could be SHOPPE. It could be ye old English.
Oh, ye old shop.
Yeah.
Ye old hacker shop. Also, I'm very glad no one's mad at me, or I don't owe somebody money or something, because then they would know where I am every Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, without fail.
Yeah,
so
you
this
know
is
what?
how you know we're on the up and up, folks.
Yeah, this is how you know nobody's going to come in and break our legs.
Yeah.
Except now that you've mentioned that, that kind of scares me.
Well, I hope you guys got your shit in order.
Yeah, I do. I'm good.
Not me.
All right, guys. So I don't think I have any announcements aside from what we're going to be mainly talking about. So, guys, what's up? Nothing's up.
I mean, I took a deep breath.
You
I
both
had to
took a
think about
deep
it.
breath. Like, who's gonna?
Well, I guess people heard a new intro just now.
Oh,
on
Yes,
our podcast.
that is true.
Yeah.
If you like the new intro, please let us know. I love the new intro, by the way.
My week, I got to think about it more in depth, but just quickly.
In
In
depth?
death?
In depth.
Whoa.
Yeah,
We
I think
both
you said
heard
in
the
depth.
same
Yeah.
I heard.
thing.
No, I did too.
Why would I say in depth? My week, I go more
In depth.
That's what I said.
Depth.
Don't make fun of my speaking.
No, I'm not making fun of your
Problem.
speaking. Just there's got to be a P
Speaking
there.
problem.
Speaking problem. I couldn't
There's
think
got to
of
be
the
a
word.
P in there. Depth.
That's what I said. Depth.
No, you're still saying death.
Off
It's-
to a rollicking good
But how do you
start
say
this
burrito?
week.
we went over that last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Oh, that's right. That's in the new intro.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, yeah.
Damn it, go away.
Depth.
Now I
So-
gotta think again.
So this week I have discovered a new world of modular
a whole
synthesis.
new world?
What the fuck? are you
Modular
talking- Oh,
synthesis.
you're talking about like sound recording?
It's well, not sound recording, but just modular synths in general. Like you buy these little pieces and you kind of hook them together. So you don't buy a whole synth. You buy this little sound generating module. You buy a filter. You buy a reverb. Blah blah blah. And they all come from different companies. And they're all people making shit out of their garage. And it is so freaking cool.
So how do they all connect? Like, there's a standard to how they connect then?
Yeah, there is. The Euro rack standard has basically been around since the 60s. It's like the super old school way of doing it.
Wow.
But it's pretty cool.
Whenever I hear the word synth, all I think about is 80s intros.
Yeah,
There's,
me too.
you can definitely do that.
That's
with
what it
this
is,
stuff.
right?
Or robots.
Robots.
You can
Yeah.
do damn near anything. You'll
Domo.
you'll see when I get it rolling.
I don't know much
Domo.
about audio at all in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
I know I hear stuff, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I don't know anything.
Wow. That's very descriptive, Doxy.
That's what it is. That's literally what I know about audio.
I hear things.
I hear things, and that's it.
I'm an audio engineer.
I would never claim that. I would never.
I hear things. It reminds me of Ralph from The Simpsons. You know? I'm a bodyguard. He has like a gun in his hand. Okay. Anyway, all right. So you got the.
Yeah.
You've been playing around with it. How? Is it easy
I'm
to-
just dipping my toe in. Like I still haven't gotten my whole order in yet, but I have a sampler right now that actually fits into a modular synth rack, and that's like because it used to be just the domain of hey, I want to make bleepy sounds, right? And now it's a whole different thing. Now it's like oh, I can take a sampler, I can cut up drum loops, I can basically act like Ableton Live in this little tiny freaking box from 1010music.com, who paid me nothing to say that, but they're awesome.
Oh, okay.
No, this thing is like super legit. They put out a sampler, an effects box, and a sequencer, right? They all use the same hardware, so you can swap firmware between them.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's
Right?
pretty cool.
That's
That's
nice.
really cool.
Yeah. So like,
That would keep me coming
It,
back.
it all clicked once you said the same firmware. Like all the nerds were just like,
oh,
whoa.
firmware.
Yeah, that would keep me coming back. Stuff like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
There are only 2 wares that I know, and firm is one of them.
What's the other?
Soft.
What about hard?
What?
Okay, I guess he doesn't know that. Okay, well, BGM Doxy, what's going on with you guys?
Well, I made a new intro.
Yeah, you've actually been very productive today.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it comes to like,
I ate all my vegetables this morning.
that's
So,
what happened.
got,
Okay.
got a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Like I got to think. I haven't been able to concentrate because I've been listening to these very engaging stories. My week went by fast. Friday was excruciatingly slow, but nothing of note happened.
Hmm.
What happened to you?
So I started the week off by actually not going to my job because I took the Monday off.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was off on Monday.
Why?
You wouldn't have known because you didn't even invite me to lunch on Monday.
Womp womp.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Calling him out
I
live
don't
on
know.
the
I don't know
show.
what I did on Monday.
I don't know either.
I know what I did.
Well, so I went to the Bellagio. They had a samurai exhibit, which is like I showed you guys the pictures.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing. It's like a mini museum that they have in the Bellagio Center,
Mhm.
or the hotel. I guess Steve Wynn was like really big into art and shit, even though he's so blind that he can put his fist through a Picasso. But whatever.
Huh?
Yeah, you didn't know about that? So he's so blind and he doesn't like to wear his glasses. So he was doing some PR event and he put his hand right through a Picasso painting, like an authentic.
Is there a video of that?
Yes, there is
That's
actually.
great.
There is.
Perfect.
We got to find that.
Wow,
But I
perfect.
know that it was recorded. Anyway, so because of that, Bellagio has its own like art gallery / museum, and so the samurai exhibit is there until I think the end of April. And they've curated most of the equipment has come from like a family that has kept it in their family for like a long time. Equipment from like the 1100s all the way through to the 1700s, like towards the end of the samurai era.
Nice.
And it's just really, really cool shit. Really cool artwork, like just the way the armor's put together. Very authentic. Everything's behind a glass casing, and you even saw the armor that the horses would wear. They were made to look like dragons. It's fucking cool, man.
Wow.
You got to check it out if you're in Vegas, or if you're going to be in Vegas. I really suggest checking out that exhibit. It's only 2 rooms, but it's like just packed full of cool shit.
Yeah, well, the Bellagio also has the conservatory too, which
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people might find really fascinating. They do like it's a giant art exhibit made out of flowers, and you can walk through it. It's
Yeah.
really
Oh yeah,
cool.
I've been there.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
change it like every quarter or like every season. So if there's not like a big holiday
for every,
coming up, it's,
well, for every holiday too.
Yeah, every
They
holiday.
they probably have an Easter one, or maybe an April Fool's one. I don't know what holiday they're going with.
well, right now it's like the spring one, so there's just like a lot of springtime colors. But the cool thing about Bellagio is that it's visually, I don't want to use appealing. That's not the right word, but like stimulating, visually stimulating.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm very big in April Fools, so
Oh crap.
beware.
Is that why you're wearing a 3 on your head? Is that part of it?
You
I
don't
guess
know.
I guess you'll know on April
He's a
Fools.
liar. He doesn't know shit. All right.
Also, I was thinking more about my day, and I've been doing a lot of coding last week on like personal projects.
He wrote like 10 lines.
10 lines is a lot, dude.
Yeah, that's like 100% more than
That's
what
a
you
lot.
normally
Shut
write.
your fucking
Dang.
mouth. So
I know. I'm one to talk. Okay.
but and like
Look
to
at my
go-
GitHub. It's
to,
horrible.
To go along with that, like when you start something and it's such a daunting task as far as like coding and whatnot, and you're like, I have this project, I got to get it done, and there's like so much to do, which stops me from finishing stuff a lot of times because it's like this insurmountable task where you're looking at it, you're like, I have this thing I want to do, but to do that I've got to do all these other things. And the way I found to sort of stop that idea in my head is to break it down one piece at a time. Like, so I have this idea, I want to make it do all this stuff, but first, what's the first thing I have to do to get it to like closer to where I need it to be? What's the first problem? Probably like a sign-in page. How would I get a sign-in page to work? I make that work, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's one thing down, one step closer to getting it done. And you break it down into little pieces, which is very common and probably very obvious, but you don't really think about it in the moment because you're like, I just want to make this. Like you see this thing, like I want to make this. So you try to make all of it at once. You're jumping around different pieces and trying to get stuff to work.
So it's programming only oriented around the object.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's very obvious, but if you don't think about it, if you're not a programmer by trade, if you're not a developer by trade, it's hard to break it down like that, I would think. So it's an easier way to break down problems.
So it's really cool to see this because you're kind of coming to the realization that's great, and then Satchel's making fun of you here. Wait,
I mean, no, yeah.
no,
that's how I get it.
It is, but it's funny, and like BGM's kind of here with his hands together, like, go on.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great. But
Yeah.
as a programmer, one of the first things you're taught is how to develop an algorithm, and that's all part of developing an algorithm.
Mhm.
Breaking it down into steps.
Yeah, you have to come up with, all right, I need to do this first, then this,
Yeah.
this follows, and,
and,
you do
and that helps a lot actually, because at first, like, because it's hard to be like, oh, I have to do all these things and try to do it all at once, but it's
Not
daunting.
yet. You break it down, and
You break it down, and it's a bite-sized chunk. You're like, oh fuck, that piece is easy. This piece is easy. And then before you know it, you've got like a working thing.
I mean, that's how I feel when I'm working on my blackjack thing that I've told you about like years ago. I write a little bit at a time, but it's kind of along that level where like, okay, if I can get this thing to work today, cool. I'm not the type of person who could like code for 14 hours. You know what I mean? Like,
whoa. Don't call anybody out here.
no, that's you. That is.
Whoa.
I don't know if I could code
Whoa.
in 14 hours, but I could definitely do it for longer stretches of time now because I have more clear goals.
Yeah.
I
No,
definitely-
As opposed to just getting something to work, it's like getting a specific thing to work.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
And then it feels really good.
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
get
it
it
feels
over.
really good.
No, like so I had 14-hour days when I was coding Greybot, which is on the exact opposite side of that spectrum. Because Greybot, the initial thing, all I wanted it to do was post information on SynShop and information about our show or the latest episode.
Yeah.
And then like all these people had great ideas, and I want to learn Python, so I was like attaching all these things to it. Eventually became this giant Frankenstein beast with the
It's a
messiest
fucking
code
monster,
you've ever
yes.
seen.
Absolutely.
But
you
and that's
refactored it,
why
right?
that's what you don't want.
Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah.
So everybody look at my Greybot GitHub source and know that that's not what you want your source to look like.
Speaking of which, do we need a Discord bot?
no, it
I
does
don't
a
think
lot
so.
of the stuff that we used to have.
I
with
mean,
Greybot
this
do.
is all what Greybot did.
Okay.
Like it grabbed the it did like internet like.
It grabbed
Internet.
links and you could play
Yeah,
videos
yeah,
in
yeah.
and stuff. so.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like previews of
Internet?
where links go and
Dub.
like YouTube descriptions and things
True,
like
true,
that.
true,
So
true,
we
true,
don't
true.
need that anymore.
You're right.
Greybot
anyway,
was an IRC.
Well,
bot
no, that's
only.
cool. It's good to hear your progress.
That was my week. Learning to take bite-sized chunks instead of trying to eat an entire.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Yes.
A burrito.
Burrito.
Death.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I can't look at Doxy right now. All right. So today's main topic, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, I know that actually BGM may have plugged a few places or plugged us in a few places. So
Not me.
hold on, I'm fucking it up already. No.
All right. Episode title: Double Entendre.
Or just plugging it in. Okay. Let me stop there. All right. So today's main topic is privacy. Okay.
Privacy.
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 And the reason why we're talking about that, of course, is because, as we know, Facebook has been in the news quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. We didn't get to talk about it last week, so we saved the topic for this week. And for those of you who do not know, big surprise, you guys. I don't know if you know this, but Facebook is selling your data.
Oh no!
What?
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
you,
you agree to it.
that's what I'm saying, and we'll get all into this right now. That's what today is for. Don't look at me. That's what today is for,
I'm just
Doxy.
saying.
I know.
I was quoting the Zuck.
The
Zuck.
Zuck.
The Zuck.
Zuck.
So, for those of you who don't know, wait, what was it called? Analytica?
Cambridge Analytica.
Cambridge Analytica, thank you. So, Cambridge Analytica is a
UK firm.
UK firm, thank you, that was collecting data from Facebook to sell for political reasons, right? Like
Yeah.
campaign reasons, influence reasons, et cetera, et cetera. And so everybody's kind of like up in arms about this. There was a hashtag delete Facebook going around for a week or so, maybe a couple of days, I don't know.
Yeah, and you linked something that sounded kind of funny too.
Yeah, and we'll get to that too, but that's kind of like a side
We have so
thing.
much to get to.
We do. So, like Doxy was saying, though, you kind of agreed to it. Unfortunately, we all kind of did, because it's in the terms of service that they could pretty much use your data as they wish.
Well, now, one thing about that, though, is, yeah, I might have agreed to it, but one of the things that they were doing was getting not only my data, but all of my friends.
Right.
And that's something that really surprised me too, because I downloaded my data because I've been ramping down my Facebook usage a lot over the last few weeks, and just recently I started obfuscating my data and deleting all my pictures off there, although they're not really gone, but
Yeah.
they're off my profile. But I downloaded a copy of my data, and in that copy, it shows you everything. Like, it shows you the advertisers they sold your information to. It shows you your friends' email addresses and phone numbers and their data.
That's because
the data they have on them.
You gave permission, like through, let's say, the Messenger app, maybe to.
No,
Nope?
permission was by default given.
Oh, that's true.
It's,
That's
you're
true.
you're not private by default when it comes to the Facebook ads or apps.
Yeah.
And unless you have, and this I ran into this problem. Unless you have Android, I believe 6 or higher, you don't get itemized permissions. So it's all or nothing.
Yep.
And speaking to this, like building profiles and people that don't even have a Facebook, a couple years ago, when me and Chen used to work together, one of our other coworkers, he signed up for Facebook fairly late, and when he signed up, it already suggested like everyone he knew from high school, like a bunch of people that he hadn't talked to in forever.
Wait, who is this? Give me a code name.
Wood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it already built a profile of him, and it's like all these you
guys
probably know
realize
these people.
we have a private chat.
He's asking me on the spot.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
and I'm getting used to the streaming and talking to people when they talk to me, so I don't type it out because I'm, whatever. But anyway, so when he signed up, it already had like a whole profile on him and knew like a bunch of stuff about him just from other people using the service. And
facial recognition or whatever.
all that stuff. He's like, hey, is this you in this picture that you've never seen before? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I have a question
Yes,
for BGM. When you looked at your data that you downloaded, a couple of questions. How big was the file?
300 or so megs.
Okay,
What, that's it?
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people are reporting averages of like 5 gigs.
And you know what's crazy?
Wait a minute.
The 300 or so megs included all of my photos and all of my videos. I just didn't have a lot on there.
Huh.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Mine
So-
was quite large.
No,
That's what I'm
mine was
saying.
like 300 and change.
So did you?
But I don't have a lot of pictures or videos on there. When I first signed up, I turned off a lot of the shit they had on there anyway.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have large files on me. They also, so one of the things that it gives you is a projected interest based off your likes and the pages that you like and places that you follow people and things that you follow. But I never followed anybody on Facebook, and I never really clicked like for an interest. So they got mine mostly wrong, which I thought was funny.
When I first
Because they're like, you like Louis Vuitton. I was like, no.
The fuck I do.
when I first signed up,
I mean, yes, for you.
I
sure.
click like on a lot of things.
Well, I mean, that's another way to do it too. You
Just
can either
like
click like on
everything.
nothing, or you can like everything.
I mean, and I wasn't trying to skew it.
Fuzz the system.
Because I
Rage against that machine.
I didn't even think about it at the time. Like I wasn't very security or privacy focused at the time, and I was like, oh yeah, I like Dane Cook. Fuck yeah. And I was like, I like fucking Ninja Turtles. Yeah. And then like years later, I look back, I was like, why the fuck do I have all these posts about these weird shit?
Why did I like Dane Cook and then like the page I hate Dane Cook?
Yeah, I was like, what? So then I started unliking stuff, and so I think that skews the numbers kind of too. Because like, what the fuck is all this stuff? But yeah, when I first signed up, I was like, yeah, whatever. I like all these things, and I want to be part of this platform, so why not?
So when you looked at your data, did it reveal anything to you about yourself that you maybe didn't know, or like maybe had new insight?
Was it
I
therapeutic?
It told me that I liked Louis Vuitton. So that's one thing
Real
that
facts.
I never knew about myself.
Real facts, please.
Oh, just the facts, man. No.
Like you weren't surprised by any.
I was surprised by the call logs that they had on there because I thought I turned off the permission for to access to
call
my
logs.
phone
Yeah.
and my SMS. But it turns out that the permissions for Facebook and the permissions for Facebook Messenger are two totally separate things, and they both collect all that data.
Yeah.
So, sorry. So I was surprised that, and when I saw that, I was like, oh no. And then I went to Messenger. I was like, that's right. I should have checked the permissions for Messenger because all I did was disable the permissions for Facebook. I didn't disable the ones for Messenger.
I by default don't give it.
I always hit deny, and then I
Yeah.
accept later if I need to use something.
Yeah,
like if it
that's-
doesn't
yeah.
work for whatever reason.
That's
but,
what I do.
But Messenger, for some reason, I never got any pop-ups, nor did I get any pop-ups for Facebook. I think it might be something to do with LG. I know the app wasn't built into LG, but
Messenger.
neither of them were.
Phase, okay.
Neither of them were. But I know some phones comes with
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah.
and Messenger.
Some of the
built
older
in.
ones though, but, is it still a practice? Like, is it still?
Oh, sure.
Well, I know
yeah,
my
definitely.
phone, my V30 did not come with it built in, but for some reason I don't recall ever getting asked for permissions by those apps. Because normally what I do is I hit deny on everything and then I accept later, and I never would have accepted Facebook accessing my contacts or accessing my SMS.
Maybe it was grandfather because you already had the app installed on your previous phone and it didn't ask because it was like
I did restore I didn't do a titanium backup. I did do an app recover, like an app restore from the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Maybe it just inherited permissions from your previous phone or something, possibly.
And I could have not disabled the messenger permissions.
Well,
Yeah.
especially if you had an older Android and had because on that
yeah.
one the permissions
I know where
were
you're going with this,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
No,
Do
the
they preserve
Android
those
I had,
permissions?
the Android I had before was a G5. That was 6.
Yeah.
Android 6.
Okay, well then never mind.
But that was where I was going. Like,
Yeah,
do they
yeah.
preserve the permissions as you restore?
Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, you said yes before, so I guess it's fine now.
It's like, it must be okay, right? Yeah.
Not a good defense.
All right. Well, so nobody else has downloaded their data, right?
I've downloaded mine.
Have you found anything? Have you really looked at it?
I
or-
haven't looked at it. I've been coding this week.
You can do more than just code.
Can only do one thing at a time, dude.
Okay.
Right
horse,
there with you.
Horse blinders, man.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so the 3 on your hat's a goal. You want to do 3 things at a time. I'm so curious as to what the 3 is. I'm going to keep bringing it up.
Half-Life 2 Episode 3. That's what it is. He wants to know what the
that's-
hell happens to Alex.
I'm holding out
Half-Life
hope.
3 confirmed.
I'm holding out hope that it'll, don't make me sad again.
No, seriously. Now you got me
Right.
wondering what the hell is the 3 about. I really don't know.
April Fool's is in full effect.
Oh. Okay.
Tomorrow's going to wear 2. Then Sunday, it's just going to skip down to 0 and it's going to reveal a "Make America Great Again" slogan. Just hidden under the 3 somehow.
Oh
Speaking of
my
which,
god.
This is completely irrelevant.
Hold on,
Awesome.
wait. Before we go to irrelevance, or no, go ahead, and we'll come back.
Wait, what were you going to say?
No.
I was going to say, speaking of Make America Great Again, did you guys see the poster for the new Purge movie?
No.
No.
You should look at
Does
it.
it say "Make America Great
No,
Again"?
you should look at
Oh,
it.
all right. I'll
Okay,
look it up.
Well, I mean,
check. Okay, go
look
ahead.
it up on your own time.
Go ahead and
but
fact check that. No, because I got a question. Or not a question.
I'm ready.
but- Okay, so a little factoid about the whole Facebook. We call it meltdown. It's not really a meltdown, but
It is.
Facebook has actually lost about $100 billion in the last 10 days.
That's crazy.
It might be more now, but it also knocked Mr. Zuck from the 4th richest person in the world to the 5th.
Oh man, how's he gonna survive?
And Michael
No
Jordan,
idea.
Michael Jordan is now the
455th. 55th.
1.9 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
can't
know that.
believe 1.9 billion is 455.
It's fucking insane.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Crazy statistics.
That's
So
nuts.
speaking of the Zuck, what do you guys think about his statement? You agree to this?
we did not,
Um.
because all right, here's
Okay, I want to hear your argument. Go ahead.
if you hide behind legal speak, then that's not telling people what they're agreeing to. You know, if your privacy policy is mostly legalese, like it's got all those parentheses, hereby referred to, and then quotes, and then hereby referred to, and then like it has all these like $5 words that a lot of people me don't understand, then like you're not saying it in plain terms. This is what you're agreeing to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
So I don't like he can throw all the technobabble he wants, but I don't think that can be said that these people were agreeing to this and they knew what they were agreeing to by signing up.
Right. Okay. So the funny thing is that could definitely be argued. Now I'm not a lawyer.
You anal?
I anal. All right. I am not a lawyer. For those who don't know what I mean when I say
That's
I
it,
anal.
Satchel. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And you'll see them chat later.
You'll see
You
it.
finish.
Oh,
your statement.
okay. Anyway,
You're-
so
you're anal.
BGM, I completely agree with you, and it could be argued. You could argue it that way, saying, of course, when you go into a contract with somebody, you have to have 2 competent parties. They have to know what they're agreeing to. There has to be some consideration. I mean, there are 4 things, and this is in tort law. Okay, in tort law, or in contract law, you have basis on which a legal agreement can be formed, right?
Okay.
Tor, like the onion router?
No, tort,
Oh.
T-O-R-T, or contract
That's
law.
like a pastry, right?
Yeah, it's pastry.
So
There's an E at the end of that.
now,
one.
I mean, this is just very basic. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I did take I took business law in 8th and like 10th grade, like just basic shit. I'm not. Again, it's not. Don't fucking say, "Oh, Chen said I could do this." No, it's not like that. But what I'm saying is there are 4 basics to making a legal agreement legal. And BGM brings up a good point that if the person does not know exactly what they're agreeing to, does that constitute them as a competent party in the
it
agreement?
does not.
or
I
the
mean,
exchange?
this is why terms of service are often invalid because they hide behind legal speak, and people are like, "Well, this is our terms of service." But if the person doesn't understand what
Right,
the terms
right.
of service is,
Right.
then they can't be found to understand what they are.
So when are they determined to be invalid? The terms of service, I mean.
Yeah.
In court.
In court.
So you have to wait until court, like, to fight that out, though.
That's probably why they have it like it's not just I have read these, I have read and understood these terms
Yeah.
of service.
Yeah, but even then.
But even then, yeah.
It's I don't because
So are you gonna have to have like a lawyer next to you every time you agree to a new account?
Well,
or-
here's the thing: you can't reasonably expect a common person to read and understand these things, and I don't know. It's tough. It's because I mean, people want to use the service, obviously, but also they don't want to be fucked over, obviously.
Well, so yeah, to what Mr. Zuck was saying, we agreed to this. Well, okay, that's true. Perhaps, maybe, in one indirect way or another. But now I really hope that me personally, I hope that the decline of Facebook continues.
Oh yeah.
I really do think maybe people wake up to it. Now, is it okay to just delete your accounts? In the chat in Discord throughout the whole week, we're kind of talking about like, well, yeah, you could delete your Facebook, but it's probably better to obfuscate your information. And it's really, I guess, a personal choice whether you do one or the other. I personally would obfuscate.
I think even at this point, obfuscating is a moot point because your data's already been sold. So you changing your picture and or name and or details about yourself aren't gonna eschew what's already out there about you. Like people are gonna be like,
gonna get you on weirder and weirder mailing lists.
yeah, but they still know who you
Well, it's
are.
not just about that though. It's like, okay, so if you obfuscate your information, or let's say you hypothetically, I don't know if anybody's done it yet, at least in here, but if you delete your Facebook account, you still have accounts elsewhere that have been associated with your Facebook, let's
Yes.
say. So that information's still out there, not contained in one.
Well,
domain.
if it's not new, it's certainly a snapshot of what it was when you signed in with Facebook last.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I mean,
And then plus you have your friends you're linked to. So and like how they build a profile of people before they even have a Facebook profile. They can do that even though you change your name and your picture and your whatever.
Yeah.
They still they're like, hey, last week Chin was a friend of this person and now Chin or Inch is a friend of this person. Probably same person. Like they're not dumb. Your
right?
algorithms
No,
aren't
no.
dumb.
So for those who for the company, let's say Facebook, for the company that owns all of your data, they're not stupid.
Mhm.
But when you obfuscate your information, it at least makes you slightly harder to find for other people who don't have the entire database.
Who?
I think it just means less meaningful ads. Like
And that's fine though, isn't it? That could be a goal of obfuscation.
But then with
Is
that,
it? No, I don't think that's anyone's goal of obfuscation. Obviously,
Yeah.
honestly, I think their goal is to become invisible, even though they still use it, which is not gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
I would say it was not gonna happen. Well, let's hear.
Okay,
real
community
quick.
mic, go ahead.
You delete your stuff today, I mean, they're still gonna have all the analytics on what you've done in the past. It doesn't
Right.
matter. Like, and odds are you didn't think you were going to obfuscate your information in the future. So odds are you have it linked to a actual human being.
Mhm.
So unless you're changing your name and changing every pattern that you ever do, instead of buying X shoe, you now buy Y shoe. Like you have to change everything about you, every thought process that you already had, so that this stuff isn't reused against you. You're wanting to create a new human being and just add it to X profile.
That would suck because a person who isn't me wouldn't like video games, and I love video games. I love them.
And you're not gonna, even if you did go through that whole exercise of a whole different persona online, at least you until you get your mother, father, aunt, uncle, your second cousin who you met at a family reunion 3 years ago, and that's the only contact you've ever, until you get them to stop posting shit about you, you're not invisible.
Right.
They can
'Cause
put all that stuff right back together again just from a couple family reunions.
They're still gonna tag you in pictures, and
Mhm.
even though it's still you in that picture, even though your name is now your name backwards or whatever it may be
Mhm.
to obfuscate, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like I said, and I don't want to discourage anyone from taking their privacy back in their hands, but I don't think changing your name and or removing pictures and stuff is the way to, unless you get everyone to stop messing or stop communicating with you.
Well, okay.
at all.
Just real quick, I guess we're having some technical difficulty with the community mic, so I don't know if anybody who's listening to the podcast or the live stream heard that, but we had a community mic guest come up and say that if you try to obfuscate any of your data, you have to actually change the person that you are.
You have to pretty much have to become a different person.
Yeah.
You can't just like change a couple things. You have to completely become a new personality.
Well, I mean, I've found success where, okay, so for instance, let's say again, I'm not talking specifically about Facebook, but let's say
What do you measure as success?
being unfindable by
Other
let's
parties?
say by another individual. Like let's say for instance, and I'm only using this as an example, right? Because you have like let's say hiring managers or recruiters who want to kind of get a look at you before they contact you about a job, let's say, or before they offer you a job, they want to see kind of like what your social life is like.
Right.
Okay, I've had friends who say that they can't find me until they go through their friends list because of the changes that I've made, right? So, and I've also done searches on myself where I'm not logged into Facebook, and I search like basically from the outside looking in, almost like a black box type of search, and I search for my identifying information, and I'm not easily put up there on the search queries or on the results.
Right.
So again, to another individual maybe looking for me, i.e. stalker, at least these types of obfuscation techniques have helped. It's worked.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
will
So
agree to that.
again, I'm not saying like for big corp, but for an individual person. So for potential stalkers, for potential recruiters or employers who want to know what your social life is like.
So in that case, I think we should define what we're talking about, because I think us protecting our data against stalkers and or other employers or other people is different than us protecting our data from big analytical companies.
Right. So
So I think the first thing is define what we're talking about.
so we're talking about a threat, like changing the threat model, or not.
No.
The attack vector.
No, I'm sorry. There, that's the vocabulary. The attack vector. Let's see if the community mic is working. No, it's not. Sorry. We'll figure it out. But anyway,
We'll do it live.
Well, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
It's not a real podcast until we have technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Hey man, just power through. But like I was saying, so Chin has had success with hiding himself, for lack of a better term, from stalkers or would-be employers or friends and whatnot, people he doesn't want to find him. But I think that's a bit different than what we're talking about with Cambridge Analytica and whatnot. That's a different beast. And I mean, it's good to do that as well. Like, if you don't want to be found, it's awesome to not be found. But the companies that are being sold our data from Facebook and whatnot, I don't think are in the same league as friends and stalkers.
Speaking of the ability to not be found, did you see the thing that I think I had posted this in the channel, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, how England is expanding their laws?
Can you familiarize me with this?
If anyone is I'm going from memory here, but if anyone is a European citizen, right, if you keep data anywhere in the world on a European citizen, you have to adhere to certain privacy laws that they have. And if you don't, they can fine you. I want to say it's something like 5% of your profits or something like that.
Shit, son.
Yeah, it's
for
real.
each citizen.
That's my impression.
That's so much
but-
money.
So America went the opposite way with the Cloud Act.
Yeah.
We did, because we're always setting the standard.
America's like, hey, if you have data on an American and you're not American, you sell it to the next guy. You try to make money off that, and then kick us back a little bit.
I thought the Cloud Act was just about responsibility, though. Like they're not responsible if such compromises happen, right?
No, the Cloud Act
I forgot.
also the Cloud Act also said that if like your data is like stored overseas, then
I think any government can access.
Any government can have access to your data. They don't have to adhere to specific privacy
Okay,
laws.
well that's
Yeah. So the UK is like, we want to protect people. America's like, good luck.
Pretty much.
So, Doxy, I agree with what you're saying about the whole Cambridge Analytica, like where if they want to find you, they want to find you. But then,
Right.
again, it's the same thing with like not even about Facebook, but if a government body, like if a state actor wants to find you, they have the resources to find you. Social media be damned.
And I want to clear it up. I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying don't protect yourself. Absolutely, be private. Do what you have to do to keep yourself safe and as relatively hidden as you need to be. Share what you want to share. Don't share what you don't want to share.
Yeah.
And if you feel you need to obfuscate stuff to up your privacy, then definitely do that. It won't hurt you. It definitely won't hurt your life or your Facebook profile or whatever. I don't know what word I'm looking for. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely do it.
I'm so tempted to delete Facebook.
Well, all right.
Okay,
On
and
that, I know
something
you
for that
you
too.
have an opinion,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but on that, I just want to know, like, what are your guys' opinions? Because I'm on the verge of deleting Facebook, but I can't because I'm
Family and
one of
stuff.
the. Well, no,
Oh,
I don't
Eh,
care.
no, I don't care about that.
Well,
I,
yeah,
I
man.
talk to my family like face to face, but
Oh.
like
Oh, poor.
no,
poor
my
child.
my. Well, I have to administrate the Greynoise page occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yep,
true.
yep,
That's
that's
why
right.
I haven't deleted mine. We have.
But do you though? I mean, Elon Musk just deleted theirs.
I
yeah, but he didn't even know that
mean,
his companies, although they were official companies, he didn't know that they had it.
I don't think that's true.
Whatever.
I think
he
he was
did.
throwing
What
shade.
was that? What was that alternative that just fell through the floor? Was it Fire?
What?
Google Plus.
No.
the one we.
Yeah. It's
What
like-
was it? It was V. Some.
Fire.
Vote.
Vote.
VOAT.
No, not vote. It's the other one that Akeem mentioned in our chat earlier.
He went to the back.
And
Like another social media platform.
yeah, and it's like it was supposed to take off, but then like the CEO was like a really scummy guy, and
Oh.
no one could actually post anything to it.
What?
So
Oh, I didn't even
I don't
see
remember
this.
that. Did we have an account? on that?
Was this in? No, I don't think we had an account on this one. I was talking about Vote. We had an account on that when
Yeah, we had an account on Vote.
when,
yeah,
when,
what
we
was
thought
it?
Reddit was gonna crumble.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I don't know the name.
Vote.
Shit. No, was it Vote?
VOAT. Vote. Well, would that be?
That does not sound familiar to me at all.
Well, I'm going to show you, but whatever. I don't remember what this. I don't remember anything about the social network. Was this in Pub Discord?
Believe it was in Pub or it was in Security Theater, one of the two.
Okay.
Well, so
Dig.com.
Dig.com.
So
I'm with BGM though.
Whoa.
Like I haven't deleted my Facebook because now I have reduced the personal information that I let on there, and I use it for Greynoise administration and advertising. Basically, I say, hey, check this shit out.
So what would you gain if you delete Facebook? It's-
Really nothing. The only thing you wouldn't gain anything immediately.
Yeah,
What you would do is prevent any more data from being collected on
This
you,
is true.
provided that you unlink all of your accounts
yes.
and you start installing things like Privacy Badger or NoScript to turn off trackers,
Mhm.
or just flip that switch in most browsers that says disable trackers.
Aren't there some accounts out there? I don't know, like some companies and accounts that like you have to sign up with your social media account. Or,
I
like-
don't sign up for those pages.
Yeah.
Well,
If it requires Facebook, I don't require it.
the only time I've used Facebook to log into something was Tinder.
Like, but didn't they force you to do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the only. But I don't use it anymore, obviously.
So
but
weird.
when I had a Tinder, you had to use Facebook. I think now you can use like your number or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's even better. Now they have your phone.
No,
information.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know what they use now.
Right,
But,
right.
but I think there are other options besides Facebook.
Yeah,
to log in.
and it's funny because they did the Facebook thing so that they can prevent bots from joining.
And there are so many bots.
Everything is bots on Tinder.
So many bots.
Tinder is just
Um,
bots falling in love every day.
And and so I like unlike Chen and BGM, I'm not tempted to delete my Facebook at all. I am concerned about my privacy and what's being done with my data and all that stuff. But also,
Did you download your data?
I did. Yeah. After
Okay.
you told me, yeah. I had it.
So did you see anything in there that surprised you?
I only looked a little bit. Actually, I didn't look like all the way through it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't surprised, but there were like I was looking through. The thing I looked through the most was like the friends list, I think, and there were a lot of people I had forgotten about that were like in there, and I was like, I don't even know this person.
Well, dude,
And it had like all their emails and numbers. Like I
You know
don't
what's-
even have their
you know
number.
what's- you know what's crazy though? Like if you look at your friends list, it'll also list all the people you've like removed from your friends list. All
Yeah,
the
or
people-
who have
All the
removed you.
people you've denied as friends,
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I think it's everyone that you've ever been like associated
and people that have
with.
removed you.
Yeah, I think it's everyone you've ever been associated
Although
with.
Well-
Wow.
my people who've removed me was empty.
oh, because BGM is just so lovable. So here's the thing.
Does it have does it have headers for that for people you've?
Yeah,
I
it's,
didn't know
it's
that.
broken up into categories.
Oh, I
yeah.
did not look that far.
Okay,
I
so
should look at it actually.
I'm
Um,
gonna do that too. Yeah.
so when it comes to like your Facebook data and like your associations and stuff, the interesting thing is that there are a lot of people who have, let's say, 200 friends or 300, 400, 700 friends, right?
Mm.
The human brain is only used, like from evolution,
Yeah.
you're only used to keeping track of like maybe 50 relationships,
Mhm.
50 to 100 relationships. After that, it's like, And so to your point, like, oh, I have people in here that I forgot about. Yeah, that's actually quite natural.
Oh yeah, because I mean, people that I knew in college, or people like from high school, or from that I knew like when I was a kid, that you reconnect with and whatever, and they kind of fall by the wayside, and either you delete them, or they delete you, or they delete their Facebook or whatever it is, and then you see those. Oh, I remember I used to know that person, and that's all it is.
So I'm sure you follow people just to see if they got fat, and just to see if like they got or like how their life is going.
I don't.
Not that being fat is bad. I'm just saying like you see how they've
I-
fallen off the wagon or whatever the case may be.
I don't care about people's lives. The only thing I care about, and I've mentioned this many times before, is to see the crumbling of relationships. That's it.
I think that's why you and I are best friends.
I've said it a couple times on the show. That's the only stat on people I track through
That's
Facebook.
my favorite thing about
Other
you.
than that, I don't give a shit about what they do, like jobs or whatever. I don't care. Any of that, I don't give a shit. Oh, but and me and BGM talked about this on Discord maybe earlier today or yesterday. It's not practical for me to use another form of communication with all the people I know.
Oh, we were talking about like a couple of days ago.
Just a couple of days ago,
how email is like very inconvenient for what Facebook
Right.
does as an alternative.
And I just thought about this earlier right before the show started, in that I think of it as a different way. Like most people, I realize, usually grow up in one place and they stay there kind of forever.
Mhm.
Maybe that's less often now because people do move a lot more now. But usually people grow up somewhere. They go to elementary, middle, high school there. They probably go to college in the same state, and they get a job there, and they just kind of live there.
Yeah.
So everyone you know is everyone you know forever. So it's not that big of a deal to go around town and see the people you know.
Mhm.
Whereas I've been moving since I was born a lot, so I have a lot of connections all over the world and people that are in a lot of different places. and
Doxy's
whatnot.
like ludicrous. I've got O's.
So I've got a lot of connections and stuff, and like in a lot of countries overseas and stuff, they don't use SMS, so I can't text them. I'm not going to email them because I'm not fucking an old person.
I
and
use email.
Is email an old person thing now? I guess it is.
to keep up with someone like unless that's their only form of communication, to keep up with multiple people, email is
Well,
not
I mean,
practical.
I don't need to know what these people are doing every day. I could just
Just
be
like for your-
every month. I could just write an email like, "Hey, how's things? All right, later."
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with
Yeah,
that.
that's
for
how I
like,
write an email.
I'd be okay
Yeah.
with that for like 5 people.
By the way, the name of that app was Vero. Vero.
Oh, I heard about
It was
that.
supposed to be a social network to replace Facebook.
I heard
but,
I don't remember
like
that.
the
Was
CEO
I just
is like a scummy guy, and people only had problems
Wait,
trying to post to it.
was I just drunk the whole
I
time we were
don't-
trying to
I
use
don't,
that platform?
I don't remember it. We didn't sign up on it.
Okay, I
think.
don't remember that.
Yeah,
at all.
I've seen it because of other like streamers and stuff I follow, but I hadn't heard
I
about
see
that
it
Discord.
because I keep up with the hip kids via email.
But yes, so like I was saying, it's not practical for me to delete my Facebook because it's just there's no simpler form of communication. And I know we hate the word convenience, but it is convenient to be able to talk to everyone I've ever known
How-
in one place.
Like, how convenient does it need to be in order to, erase some of your privacy or a lot of your privacy?
which
in
is
the case
which
of
is
Facebook?
yeah. So that's why I know it's not good. That's why I know it's not good, and it's not
This
a,
just in.
it's not a thing for like convenience doesn't erase what they're doing, and I'm not on Facebook's site at all. But I do like the convenience of it.
I mean, that's the definition though of Huxleyan. That's
Huxley,
yeah, the breach of all of your privacy and all of your rights via apathy. It's
I don't think
convenient
I'm
and you
apathetic
like
because
it.
I try to be.
I don't. Well, I mean, I
I
can't say you're apathetic because you're on an information security podcast.
We're not an information
Well,
security podcast.
I mean, you're
we're
on
a podcast about hacker shit.
you're on a
whatever it
podcast about
We're on
hacker
a-
shit or
we
whatever.
gotta
it is.
define ourselves.
How did I introduce it this morning, today? Because that was amazing.
We're on this. We host this show, so you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I love that.
So I don't think I'm apathetic because I do try to be private. I don't post information about myself. I don't use location. So I don't post where I am. I don't post what I'm doing with like constant updates and stuff. I don't.
Right, but it's still giving up a piece of yourself
It is still.
in
it
order
is,
to,
It is.
Does it
have
even
a little
matter though?
convenience.
Like, does it even matter at this point? Because, like, let's say that I get off of Facebook.
That's a tough question to ask to answer.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It really
Because if I'm the most private person ever, then I'm off the grid somewhere in the tundras of Canada with
Living
no
in
friends.
in a Faraday cage.
Yeah, in a Faraday cage. Like, and I don't want that life. I want to play video games.
Right.
I want to talk to people. I want to hang out, and I want to say happy birthday, but not really say happy birthday.
And it's so, like, it's unfortunate that we have to like concede to some things in order to get the life that we want.
Well,
it is really it is.
when you say Satchel doesn't matter,
I mean, maybe there's a problem there, like in the root.
So the problem isn't the people wanting convenience. The problem is the apps taking it. The apps and the taking advantage of the people that want these things.
I mean, like, why can't I just have a phone that I can use and not have to worry about how much data I'm giving out to people?
Yeah. Why can't we have some?
the data that you give up though, and I am not arguing for Facebook. Okay, that's not what I'm doing
Sure.
here. But
Yeah.
the data that your phone generates helps make your smartphone smarter, right? Like so, the geolocation information, all this information, it helps make this device here more convenient
And I'm okay
for
with
you
that.
to use.
But keep it for me. Don't give that information to advertisers or stores or people and whatnot. Like keep it for me, making my experience better with your product.
But then those people don't make any money because their
will.
entire profit model is selling you.
to advertisers.
Selling you.
So the problem
Yeah.
is we need to think of different profit models.
Would you pay for an app if you didn't have to worry about advertisements?
Here's the thing.
I pay for apps I support.
Here's the
I
thing.
do too.
If it became illegal today to sell someone else's data for profit,
Mhm.
then I think the entire infrastructure that we're used to, that we just talked about, is going away.
Yeah.
At least
the
at least for a
convenience and
while.
convenience
Yeah.
and all that stuff. You know what? A thing they should do is if you're going to sell.
Well, I mean, the alternative is to pass costs on to the people whose data you were selling. Facebook suddenly becomes a $19.99 a month subscription thing,
Mhm.
and then
And then-
everybody goes away.
Yeah, and then we just won't have any more social media platforms because they can't make a profit.
Would that be that?
Or
bad?
apps. Every app there would never be a free app. There would never be a free app on
Yeah.
the store.
And I
on the
mean,
Play Store.
There'd be less shitty apps.
There would be very few shitty apps.
So
or there would be a lot of shitty apps that cost a lot less than the other apps.
This is true. So it would interest into a new world, and maybe that's what we're heading towards. And I'm
Okay, so
kind of okay.
I mean, I'd
So-
be okay with that.
So privacy concerns aside, I mean, we can get back to that, but actually, something that Zenify over there
Reddit
brought.
goes away.
What?
Reddit goes away. Or
So-
it's a subscription model.
So something that Zenify brought up in the live stream is there are other negative effects. Okay, besides the privacy thing,
Yeah.
there are other negative side effects to using social media the way that a lot of people have been. We could talk about the psychological problems now, where people are opening the app routinely just to get like that dopamine hit. How many likes did this picture get? How many likes did this post get?
I mean, we had a chuckle in the audience, but you really do get a dopamine.
No,
hit.
it's
Some
actually
people,
it's
like
an addictive
people
thing.
do actually get
It's a drug. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
and I don't want to say I don't because I don't analyze myself that heavily, but I don't.
Dude,
I,
you're always talking about yourself. You're
I
talking
am.
about yourself
I
right
am.
now.
You know what? I love myself the most, but I don't
Huh.
I don't think I get that same hit from like Facebook and social media and stuff. Because if you notice, like I don't post stuff about myself.
Right, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that everybody does, but there are people who are regular users of social
and
media.
And they definitely do. I'm just
And,
saying, like
They'll open the app, they'll post something, and then they will literally close it, open it 2 minutes later, and see how many likes or whatever they
that's-
got.
I do that
but
with
also-
Reddit, but I don't care about like upvotes or anything. I just I'm on Reddit for a while. I'm like, all right, I'm done with Reddit, and then like not even a minute later, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's on Reddit today.
No, I will literally close the window that Reddit is in, and then open a new window and go to Reddit. I've done that so many times.
and
And
like-
so that's a psychological.
Well, no, just,
Thing,
just
right?
But
because
like
that's-
it's not for the upvotes or anything.
no,
Yeah.
but it's also like a routine thing, right? Like you are in the routine of,
Exactly.
I open this tab. The
Yeah.
next
Like-
step in this process is to
It's
open
like,
up
all
Reddit.
right, my
Reddit.
grandfather used to read a newspaper on a toilet. I read Reddit. That's the only difference.
I mean,
Pretty much.
Reddit is just a virtual newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a lot of gossip columns. Apparently, if you look at the ones I'm subscribed to.
I have some great
Dear
subreddits.
Reddit, you'll never believe what happened to me.
So people do definitely get that dopamine hit, and that's definitely a thing. Like, and it's prevalent on all of them: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, probably also too. People can post pictures.
I think
Twitter
Twitter
is
just they
Facebook.
like to argue.
I don't
Twitter's for
separate.
arguing.
I don't separate Twitter from Facebook
Why?
Why?
because Facebook owns Twitter.
Do they?
No, they don't.
Hmm?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They-
Oh, they own Instagram.
they own Instagram, not Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I think they own Twitter?
In fact, that's why. So what?
See,
okay,
things-
so what used
live
to?
fact checks.
So what used to?
Because I'm often wrong.
it was back in 2015. I did a Sky Talk at DEF CON called "Automate Your Stalking," and I was able to scrape Instagram picture data from people who had blocked me
Mhm.
because it would also share on Twitter. But hi, I'm your stalker. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but when Facebook bought Instagram, that feature was taken away from Twitter because not conflict of interest, but because of competition.
Right.
And actually, I might need to revisit that because I was going through Twitter and I saw that the Instagram links were shared as Insta.am or whatever.
Okay.
And so I could probably still scrape that data in a different fashion, update my code. But point being, no, Facebook does not own Twitter. They do own Instagram though.
Well, see, like that's
It's a
kind
weird
of what
way
I
to
was-
get to that point.
I know. I'm
understand.
roundabout.
What I was
Just
saying
call me
before,
something
like,
because I'm roundabout.
even if you get rid of Facebook and all that stuff, your shopping data is still out there.
Yeah.
Like someone could build an entire profile on me just based on what I buy on Amazon Prime.
Here's
so it's true.
So I would not be surprised if major corporate banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, are also selling your
Oh,
shopping
certainly.
habits.
Absolutely.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
I wouldn't be surprised if like the major banks aren't selling your shopping habits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, you can get like a Bank of America deals or something like that, where you shopped here, we'll give you a coupon for this place.
Every time you swipe your card or insert the chip,
Mm-hmm.
someone has more data on you.
Okay, so obviously, you guys, there's a lot of bad news and bad association when it comes to social media.
Bad
but,
news bears.
well, do we have any sort of tips or recommendations
just
to
feel
get
like-
past this shit?
I just feel like the horse is. I'm sorry about that.
No,
I
no.
just feel like the horse is out of the barn. Like I think we're done with
This is
privacy.
Well, okay, look at as an example, Equifax, right?
Great point.
2 months ago, oh shit, this is horrible news. Well, nothing's really stopping you from checking your credit every day now because you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of a fact of life now. You have to constantly be looking out for what your privacy leaks are,
Mm-hmm.
what your sharing is. It's just
But
a
people aren't
fact of
going to
life
do
now.
that.
Most people know.
Check their
Yeah.
credit scores every day.
Yeah.
And stuff like that?
I
Hell
check
no.
my credit score.
Absolutely
In
not.
fact, I'm saying-
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. They're not going to.
Yeah.
no, they're
right.
not. They're not.
Well, I mean, I've set up the locks and the freezes on my credit reports.
As far as social networks, protect your privacy. Do what you can. I don't think if you want to delete them, delete them. Nothing stopping you. If that's what you feel you need to do, then absolutely do that. If you feel you need to obfuscate your data, absolutely do that as well. If you don't want to do that, don't. Just protect your privacy. Be smart about what you post. Be smart about who you friend, and just protect yourself like you would in any other situation. You wouldn't fucking be willy nilly with like your credit card details and stuff. So don't be willy nilly with your online persona.
I wonder if anybody's name, like, if you had a name William Nilly, like, and his nickname was Willy Nilly, like, you can't tell him to not be willy nilly.
He'd be really careless.
I would fight. I would fight everyone in the world all the time if my name was William Nilly.
Wait, your name is Willy Nilly?
Every day.
Don't be running all over here.
Would you go by Billy?
Billy Nilly? Like, that's any better.
I would fight every day of my life.
All right, so do you guys have any tips before we go to lightning round?
Yeah, well, I do agree with. Are you Satch today?
I'll take your pick. I don't
Are
care.
you Michael Lockhurst?
I am Ockert.
He's
All
Michael
right.
Satchel.
He's all right. So, I do agree with Michael Lockhurst in that the horse has been let out of the barn, but I
Is
don't.
this a thing people say?
Yeah,
I've never heard this before today.
it's my nut, man.
Are
So,
we still getting nuts? I want nuts.
Always.
No, I don't. I don't.
so well,
Sorry, this is bad.
while I do agree that the horse was let out of the barn, I don't agree that it's not a horse that can't be reined in. And honestly, there's a lot of people out there who are still fighting for, little bits and pieces of our privacy back. And as long as, there are people still fighting, and I hope to be counted amongst those people, then we'll, eventually be able to rein in some of our privacy that's been, relinquished.
I absolutely hope this. I hope the same thing.
Yeah.
I agree with BGM. I think there are ways to still become slightly like a ghost. Not completely invisible, but maybe more like a shadow
While
figure.
still enjoying the luxuries of modern life.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, that's
that's
the
the whole
thing.
thing too. Like, I want to be private, but I also really want my cell phone. I really, want to be able to play video games.
We should have to give up all of this just to be social online,
Mhm.
to shop conveniently, to connect with people conveniently. You should have to give up your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
But if that's with everything going on, this news and the shit that we talked about before, it's a great time to be in this industry.
I feel like I feel like in order
in tech,
for
in general.
there to be the utopia that we want, where we can be private, no one's accessing our data without us knowing, and still enjoy all the luxuries, that the gap between the rich and the poor is going to have to get real small, because a lot of those people are going to lose money if they can't sell our data. A lot of money.
Good.
A lot of money.
They're making too much anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
Absurd
agree.
amounts of money.
I agree, but those people who are making too much, to them, they aren't making enough,
It's true.
because they're ranked number 2 in the world,
Oh,
Or
Not
number
just
5
one.
now.
or
Not
number
just
5,
one, too.
or number 5.
He's
So-
only got enough money to cover what, half the
Wait,
US?
hold on, really quick. Here's an interesting thing. Can anybody fact check really quick? Bill Gates, what is his rank as far as richest in the world? Is
He
he
should
just-
be
He's
two.
two?
He's number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
Behind Jeff Bezos,
All right. So
who
the
I
thing
just
is-
found out today owns Washington Post. I didn't know that.
yeah, he owns
You didn't know
Washington
that?
Post. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. Now, yes, Bill Gates started Microsoft, et cetera, but he's the second richest person in the world, and he's not, to my knowledge, he's not using the information the same way maybe Amazon and Facebook and all these other billionaires are using it.
I
no?
still don't trust Microsoft.
They always want to have a monopoly on an operating system.
Okay, for those of you who didn't hear that, something about a monopoly on a.
They said Bill Gates. They said everybody
Operating
else doesn't
system.
have a monopoly on the operating system.
Well, everything else is open source as far as operating systems go. But anyway,
I'm saying that's where the money came from.
right, I get it.
But like I still don't trust Microsoft. Although Bill Gates in his later years,
Philanthropy.
has been starting to go more towards
Yeah, he's like
philanthropy
trying to find like.
and starting to advocate for privacy. In fact, now he's backing a lot of Democratic like people running politically, because they're supporting the net neutrality, and they're supporting like more and more
Right.
privacy focused laws.
Okay, cool. So, really quick lightning round before we end the show.
Yes.
Anybody got it queued up?
I do. Okay, so for those of you who do not know what the lightning round is, we talk about various things, but we'll save the news for the end of the show. We'll read the headlines and give our tweet's length of an opinion, but we want you to do your own research. We don't want to tell you how to think or what to think. So, here we go. Who's going first?
Me.
Okay.
No, you're going third. It's right there on your hat, dude.
Tres.
Yeah, you should go third.
Tres-
Seriously.
Tres Commas.
You wanna
I'll
go first?
I'll go
He'll go first.
Billionaire with the B.
You're,
Oh, speaking of which, Silicon Valley. Watch it.
Wait, did it start again?
Did it?
You don't know.
Are there new episodes now?
Are there?
I gotta check. Okay, we'll do that after the show. Anyway, all right, BGM, you're going first because Doxy's hat said he wanted to go third. All right, here we go. That new privacy icon in iOS 11.3 does nothing to prevent password phishing. Well, phishing is a social thing, but go ahead, sorry.
Hashtag get rid of your iOS device? Question mark. iOS. I mean, you have itemized privacy options in Android. Why go with iOS?
I think the next privacy icon should just be someone laughing at you.
Oh, I see what you're trying.
The
I really
next
fucking like that.
privacy icon should be named placebo.
There you go.
As you can see here on the placebo icon, it's green.
Ask your doctor if the power of persuasion is right for you.
It's always right for you. All right, next one. Under Armour says 150 million MyFitnessPal accounts hit by a data breach. It's like their Fitbit equivalent.
Those affected say, "Bro."
This is why.
Dude, we're not playing Leapfrog.
Sorry.
This is
sorry.
why. Well, no, I really like that though. This is why, like, you can't trust these companies. I mean, how many more times do we have to have a podcast where they have huge data breaches because we're giving them data that they don't know how to protect?
Hashtag data breaches are the norm. Doxy?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like this breach happened very recently, right?
Yeah, like 2 days ago or today.
And Fitbit put out
A day ago.
Fitbit put out a statement.
No, this is not Fitbit. This is Under Armour.
No, but
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm sorry, not Fitbit. I'm sorry.
MyFitnessPal?
Yeah, MyFitnessPal put out a statement about what happened and all the stuff and the details and whatnot. So I feel like, did they talk about it first, or did it come out first?
No, actually, I heard that they were being more proactive than other
Okay,
data breaches.
That's
we
what
know
I was
about.
trying to get at.
You
So-
mean like they're actually talking about it, but after like a month it happened?
More
or-
accountable.
I'm
no,
trying-
I
I
think
don't-
it's more recent
That's
than
what
that.
I
But I
was
mean,
trying to
like,
figure out. I don't know if it happened like a couple days ago, if it happened like months ago. But if it did happen like a couple days ago and they're being proactive about it, I applaud them.
I think they're being more proactive about
if
it.
they're not, fuck
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, all of these data breaches have always been like we've known
Years.
about
We've known
it for
for years.
months.
And now
Yeah.
that we've sold all of our stock, we can tell you.
Yeah, now that we've done all this insider trading that no one will catch us on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next one. 20 suspect hackers arrested over online banking fraud. Just 20?
Online banking fraud for 20 people. Why is that even in the news?
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah.
again.
I
It's
feel
like
like
a
I feel like
norm.
that happens every day.
Yeah.
It's like ransomware.
Other opinions?
No.
Satchel?
I got nothing.
Richard Ockerts? Okay.
Rich Rock.
Next one. Update Drupal ASAP. Over 1 million sites can be easily hacked by any visitor. Any visitor. That's kind of hyperbole, but okay. Not every visitor can be a hacker because
Well, I mean,
They
it,
could.
it depends. If
Eh.
the hack is somebody leaving their Facebook open, then I hacked Facebook. If the hack
Many
is
times.
if the hack
oh my
is
god,
I'm such an experienced
That-
hacker.
if the hack
let me
is
tell you.
viewing
that
the,
drives me nuts.
if the hack is pressing F12 to get to the dev tools and then changing a text box value, then I'm a hacker on every website.
fucking elite hackers.
Dude, that whole thing drives me nuts. We're like, oh, this Facebook profile was hacked by so and so. Like, no, motherfucker, they just left the account open or you shoulder served. Like, stop being an asshat. Anyway,
Like our old segment, the WordPress vulnerability of the week. Just make sure you update your CMSs. Keep
Update your
them
shit.
updated.
all right, let's make this the last one. Cisco critical flaw. At least 8.5 million switches open to attack. So patch now.
Is this the same as that Juniper thing that came around about a year ago?
Could be.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Where's Crux?
Where's Crux?
Yeah, where's Crux?
Where's Crux?
Our
when
Where's
you need
Crux?
it?
network, our network guy.
Anyway, opinions? No. All right. Well, let's
Update your
Uh,
shit.
update your
In
shit.
the live stream, user Blue Seraph posted a Spokio link for how many William Nillies there are.
Holy shit! Awesome. Thank you, sir. Or whoever that is. Is
37
that not-
records.
37 records. There's William Nillies. Okay, awesome.
They have the worst.
I want to
fucking life.
contact all 37.
Don't be all willy nilly about this.
I want to take a poll. How many of you go by Billy?
This is gonna be great. I'm gonna seriously do this. All right, here we go. So that brings us to the end of the lightning round.
Shin is about to get the ass kicking of a lifetime.
Why? Because I'm gonna reach out to all William Nillies.
If there's one
I
that
bet
lives
you.
in Vegas,
I bet you. Okay, statistically speaking, out of 37 of those, I bet you I could beat about 30 of them.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna get my ass whooped, is what I'm saying.
I mean,
there's always a bigger Willie.
Wow.
What did I do?
What a
I didn't
What did you
win it.
do?
what a great note to end the show on.
I think William Nilly should be the name of our show tonight. Anyway, here we go. So we're at the end of the lightning round. As you can tell, we've never run out of shit to say. So join us again next week, like every podcast night. It's Friday, 7:30 p.m. at the Sin Shop Hackerspace. Go to 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Maybe we won't share that anymore. I don't know.
But
Anyway,
you
It's
float
out
so
there
well.
I know it does flow so well.
There's
It's
like-
out there.
there's like
It's like
300
it's like our Facebook data. We're not gonna hide it anymore.
There's like 300 episodes with the.
I know with the fucking address on it. Anyway,
So we gotta go edit all of those.
We're gonna edit
by
all of them
tomorrow.
and leave them all out.
Just obfuscate the data.
oh yeah, there you go. We're at 70:15.
There you go.
Anyway, go to sinshop.org for more information on the shop. Go to Greynoise, that's GREYNOI.se for more information on us. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Michael Lockhart.
Good night, everybody.